The Insta360 Flow is one of the best travel gimbals on the market today. And in this video, I'm going to show you 8 creative moves that anyone at any level can perform with this gimbal for amazing results. And make sure you stick around because I'm going to be showing you how you can use the Flow's AI tracking feature to capture a perfectly timed cinematic final shot. Let's do this! All of these moves today can be filmed with any compatible smartphone or camera app. Obviously today, I'm going to be using my iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Insta360 Pro camera app. So before we get into these moves, I want to thank Insta360 for sponsoring this video today. And if you're interested in purchasing or checking out more details of the Insta360 Flow gimbal, I've left the links below in the description. So let's briefly go through the camera app settings that I'll be using. Now I'm choosing to use a clip-on ND filter today. I want to get that true cinematic look and feel and that natural motion blur. This does mean I'll be using the advanced filming mode in the Insta360 Pro camera app. Obviously you don't have to use this mode. If you want, you can just film with your phone in auto and you're still going to get great results. Now I'm also going to pick 4K because I want the highest quality video that I can get with my phone. And I'm also choosing to shoot in 24 frames per second. Now, the general rule for cinematic video is to double the shutter speed of the frame rate that you're shooting. So I'm shooting at 24 frames per second. So I'm gonna manually adjust my shutter speed to 1/50, which in this camera app is the closest I can get to 48. Next, we wanna set our color balance manually. Now this is vital because as we're filming, we don't want color shifts in our video. That's gonna make it look a little bit unprofessional. It's not gonna be cinematic. And based on the conditions that I'm shooting in, I'm selecting cloudy in the camera app. Now with all those settings in place, you'll notice that the picture is a little bit overexposed. This is where the clip-on filter works its magic. As we're putting that filter over the camera lens, you'll notice that the picture is starting to look perfectly exposed. That's it, now we're ready to shoot some cinematic video. Guys, if you like the content, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let's get on with the video. Before we start these moves, it's important to note that I'll be using auto gimbal mode on the Insta360 Flow. I will, however, be holding down that trigger on certain moves I want to move into lock mode. This is a great technique to use when you're shooting fixed scenes with gimbal movement. And when you see this symbol on the screen, you'll know that I'm engaging on lock mode by holding down that trigger. We're also going to be using a lot of foreground to add depth and layers, so it's important that you lock focus on the subject that you're shooting. This can be done really easy on the Insta360 Pro camera app. All you need to do is tap and hold on the subject and you'll see on the screen that it'll say that it's locked focus. This will make sure that your foreground is out of focus and give you that really clean cinematic look. Now the crane shot is a brilliant shot to start any cinematic sequence. We call this your classic establishing shot. And it's important that you make great use of foreground for layers and depth. Now once you've got your phone in a nice position, hold that trigger to move into lock mode. Now to engage the shot, pull the gimbal up from the side like this. Keep the movement steady and consistent. Now consistency is the key for everything that we're doing today. This is a great cinematic shot that's going to add a little bit of movement and mystery to your video. Start by positioning yourself behind an object that you're going to reveal out from. Some of the best options you can use here are things like trees and walls. The key to this move is how well you can pivot that gimbal with your hand. It's all in the wrist. And once you have a perfect framing for your shot, hold that trigger to move into lock mode. Then slowly pivot your hand with your wrist to reveal that scene from behind your object. Again, slow and steady movement and consistency is what you're looking for. Now this is a classic gimbal shot and probably the most simple shot that you're going to perform. This kind of shot is perfect for transitioning between scenes and you have to be very consistent with your movement. So your knees and your feet are going to be key here. And the key to this shot is holding that gimbal as steady as possible with your arms tucked in. I like to use a heel to toe movement to keep steady and move in a consistent way. It's going to help to get rid of as many of those micro jitters as possible. Now with any cinematic video sequence, you want to tell a story. You want to show parts of your scenery that's going to really draw in your viewers and make them feel part of that journey. That's why I love to film supporting B-roll shots. The low push forward is perfect for this scenario. Here I have a scene by a stream, lots of little interesting little rocks and things. It's going to be perfect for this shot. So to perform this shot, we're going to flip that phone around. We want to get as low to the ground as possible. Again, we are in auto gimbal mode here, and that's the beauty of the Insta360. It's going to adjust to the scene that you're shooting. And once you're in position and you're steady and you're ready to start pushing forward. Now you want to get as close to the ground as possible, but be careful. You don't want to wreck your phone. Now the orbit shot is a brilliant shot, a little bit more difficult to perform. The idea with this shot is that you want to pivot around your subject and keep them perfectly fixed in the center of your frame. This is where your footwork is going to be really important. Make sure the area is clear because you don't want to be tripping over. Consistent, steady movement as you're pivoting around your subject. Now if you want a really cinematic look, have your subject turn their head the opposite direction that you're walking. That's going to make it look really immersive. This is going to require a little bit more practice to get it right, but when you get it right, it's going to be a great shot. Again, this is one of those supporting B-roll shots that's really gonna help tell your story. And the idea here is I'm gonna film my feet as I'm walking along. And for this move, we're gonna fully extend the flow's selfie stick and then flip the phone around so it's getting close to the ground. Again, keeping it in auto gimbal mode, keep that phone an equal distance away from your feet as you're moving along. Keep the movement steady, keep the movement consistent. This might take a few tries to get right, so patience is key here. But when you get it right, it's going to be a great transitioning supporting B-roll shot. Some of the best cinematic shots that I perform are the ones where you can peek in through something from a distance. There is a composition technique in photography which we call natural framing, and we can use this technique to film an amazing scene. Frames are brilliant for adding depth, mystery, and layers to your shot. Here in this scene, I'm going to push through these branches to reveal my subject walking down below. Have a few test shots, make sure you can safely get through that frame. Again, patience is the key here, but also preparation is also very vital here. Now we're going to get really advanced. We're going to combine two shots together, low push forward and then a crane at the end. Now I've got a nice stream here, nice surroundings. I want to push forward along the ground and then lift up at the end to reveal that stream. Now for this move, we're going to have to extend that selfie stick again and flip the phone around. Now the scenery here is static, so what I'm going to do is hold down that trigger to activate lock mode. And once I'm ready and I've got the phone perfectly positioned, I'm going to very slowly start to push forward. The movement has to be steady, heel to toe, and when you get to the point when you want to crane up, simply raise your arm, but make sure your wrist is in the exact same position. This is a more difficult move, so it's going to require a lot of practice, but I'm telling you now, if you master this, the shot is going to be awesome. Now as promised, we have a bonus move for you. Now the Insta360 Flow has an amazing AI tracking feature. We're going to use that tracking feature to film a final cinematic scene. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on the Insta360 Pro camera app. I did an in-depth review of the Insta360 Flow and the camera app a few months ago. I've got a link below, go and check that out. Now to start this move, find a nice location that you can set the Insta360 Flow down. It might be the ground or it might be a bench, something that is really sturdy. Now get your subject in front of the camera, draw a box so it knows who it's tracking. Then hit record and let the AI tracker do its thing. You can walk and film the scene. The AI tracking feature on the Insta360 Flow is going to track you all the way. It's going to create this amazing cinematic shot of me and my daughter, something I could never do on my own unless someone else was with us to film that scene. Now that's all of those moves. Let's pull all of that footage together, put in some music, some sound effects, some color grade. Let's see what kind of results we can get. And there you go, 8 creative gimbal moves that you can perform with the Insta360 Flow, and also that little bonus move using that AI tracking feature. Now you can use the AI tracking feature for all sorts of stuff. Like I said before, check out that review I did a few months ago. This is an amazing gimbal and you can get brilliant results with a little bit of creativity and imagination. If you're interested in learning more about this gimbal and the current deals that Insta360 have on offer, I've got links to all of these products down below. Please check them out and I'll see you in the next video.